Welcome to a review of Cities. Wait a minute. Wrong game. Let's fix that. There we go. Welcome to City Skylines. Yup, not SimCity. Cause they are gone. And now, thanks to fucking EA. Yeah, like that picture. Thank you for that. Really, let's look at this game. Released on March 10th, 2015, and developed by Colossal Order and published by Paradox Interactive. You start the game by simply pulling out roads from a highway. You will quickly notice that most of the roads are locked by the start of the game. This is a part of a milestone system that they added into the game, but we'll return to that later. Now, after you place the roads, you begin zoning residential, commercial, and industrial zones, while still adding in more roads, making interesting shapes, watching your money, and just letting it grow. But you're forgetting one thing. Well, actually it's three. It's power, water, and garbage. And they're just as annoying as always, because they always need more water, more power, and always produce more garbage as your city begins to grow. Here you see a city slowly growing and slowly, really slowly growing. Well, on this screen, it's even slower in real life. And there was this really smart feature in SimCity where all the power and all the water would simply flow under the roads. But this is even better, somehow. Yeah, you still need those power lines, as well as those pipes. God damn it! Now, as your city gets bigger, you'll probably reach some milestones. Clearly, you're just growing. There we go. Yeah, you just unlocked more things. So now you also have healthcare, death care, police, and fire department. But first, you'll only unlock healthcare and death care, which will, of course, take care of sick people, and as they die, they'll take care of the dead people. And you'll just simply mind your own business when suddenly you hear a plane sound, and this little chirper thing out of the top will tell you something which is useless. Now, as you expand your city, you'll, of course, pick a name for it. You'll check the demand for everything. Well, you know, RCI. Check all the stats. Check if you're close to a milestone, and just keeping the city running. Oh, another milestone. Thank you. Now we got not a new stat, all the resources. Now, as your city begins growing into a big city, you know, 16,000 or 20,000 or whatever you want to say, you run into some other problems, like traffic being mindless. Of course, until you figure the very specific system out that they run in this game, but also stuff like noise pollution and education, and you know, just stuff like that. But of course, traffic is, well, not of course, but it's obvious in this game that traffic is a very big problem. It's a reason for people to not get to work, for stuff like garbage not getting picked up, firemen not reaching where they want to go, cemeteries not getting to dead in the time, and a lot of other stuff. But of course, you can also fix that in many ways, and you also see those problems like extra noise pollution. Now, one of the ways to improve on traffic and other really big problems in the city is this new amazing feature called districts, where you are allowed to ban high rises, making certain bans for a city, you know, relieve and raise taxes for certain zones, and just straight out just allow recreational drug use if you want that, of course, and just recycle stuff, because that's good in some ways. And of course, don't need to pick these things, but they're very nice to set up half different areas in the city and just making rules, because roads are good for the colony. And this is a very nice replacement for the rule system and the law system and the plans and deal system in SimCity 4 in a better way. And I missed it, and now it's back. Yes. Now remember that panel where I could look at natural resources earlier? Now this is a part of the districts kind of thing where I can just mark an area and make it into a special ability for industrial, make it agricultural, normal, drilling for oil, and mining, ores. Now all the things in the game are part of this very provable and changeable system where you just add a road, it will just simply fix everything in that area, or make it even worse for the traffic because they stole mindless at this point. Now it also makes a very big problem for just newcomers because there's no tutorial in the game and no tips other than just the chirper, which is not really helpful, so hope you know how to play, because a lot of people don't. Well, the game isn't that hard if you play like a SimCity player, but it can be hard if you, of course, don't have an open mind, and it's pretty easy if you, just play it. But I guess you can kind of enjoy other things you don't know how to play. You can just kind of enjoy the new features like this new hydro power plant. Ooh, that's pretty expensive. Which actually opens up for a new interesting thing in the game, which we'll come back to later. Now let's continue with some other things in the game. For example, land value, that's pretty awesome. It just attracts newcomers to city and mostly rich people. But we have education, elementary schools, high schools, and universities that will all just make bigger work in the city, increase the land value, make people more clever, which also reduces stuff like traffic. People actually know how to drive, know how to cook so they don't set fire to the house, and produce less garbage. That's something that also improves on another big part of the city. But there's still one big problem in the game. You don't know what you're doing most of the time. Sometimes you know what you're doing, but you cannot tell by looking at stats because they're not accurate. Java is not helpful. You don't have list or what people are doing, and does not help by just looking at people driving, but our stats takes ever to do. Sometimes you just simply have to take a loan because apparently people are leaving your town for no reason. Or garbage will pop up for no reason. Well, there's traffic, but you don't know why there's traffic. Now, this means that for probably a while, you'll just simply plop down a bunch of buildings and not really know what's wrong and don't know how to fix it. It can get pretty annoying and can be really costly for the budget, but that's just how it apparently works. Here's an example of when I didn't know what was going on. I was just sitting here in my about 80,000 population city and getting a lot of traffic into my tourist area, but I didn't know where all the people were from. There was a feature in SimCity 4 where you could just click on a button and click on a road with that tool and then see where everyone was driving to or from, see how many cars went that way. You would quickly know what was a very used road and what wasn't a very used road. Now real quick, I'll just point out everything that is just amazingly detailed in this game. You have trees in not super resolution, but it's kind of amazing, and the stats are just as amazing. The cars look great, course you don't need to look at it all close up, but close enough, I guess. Oh, and remember that back in SimCity, even though it sucked kinda, it still set new standards for features in the game. Well, this kinda sets that too. And one of those features is, you'll get it here. And this is not the only feature that I would like to return in the game, but let's just simply take an example of one of the good things that have been added. It's water physics, and it all starts with the hydro power plant that you remember from earlier, along with the pumping stations from the side of the sea, just kind of drying it out if you can. You can in fact also flood your city if you do it right, and then you'll kind of get a big problem. And it's kind of fun also. And this also sets a new standard for things you need to get in the game. Along with probably my favorite feature of the new features that they add into the game, transport lines. For trains, metros, and also for buses. But you set individual lines for where they need to go instead of just randomly picking up people wherever it is. And there's just something about sitting there watching trains that just gets me into my soul. Well, of course, being kinda creepy, it's quite enjoyable to just simply watch trains go on around the city, picking up people, then going to the next station, and then stopping and picking up more people. Unfortunately, I also do the cars, but who cares? Now, this game is amazing. All the good things that were in SimCity are pretty much here, just kind of fixed. Some of them are probably missing, but they're probably not as good. They took out all the bad things, and it's a game in itself. That's kind of make it not a SimCity clone, but actually makes it a game on its own, and you know, it's my favorite city builder, and it's just reached the throne. It's #1, kicked SimCity off the throne, and well, SimCity is dead anyway, thanks to EA, so that's kind of a thing. Yeah, this game is amazing. I love it. Oh, and you know what? This game is so cheap. It cost $30, and you can say that it costs 28 euros, so go buy it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm new here on YouTube, so thanks for watching. And if you liked it, then give it a like, maybe share it with someone you knew, or consider subscribing.